Today is the 22nd foundation day of the Kohima Press Club, and during these years we have lost some of our friends also who have already passed away, and recently also we have lost one of our esteemed member, late Ritu, and it's been 1 year today. So now shall we all take a time remembering our friends who have passed away? Shall we all stand up and have a prayer for 1 minute for them, remembering them?
Well, I bring greetings to all of you, all the members, on the occasion of the 22nd Foundation Day of the Kohima Press Club. Our club came into being 22 years ago, initiated by a few journalists who had deep and genuine concern for the welfare of the press fraternity in the state capital. Today we are proud to be the oldest press club in Nagaland. I should say we have come far. Kohima Press Club, which started with a very few members, today we are a strong body with more than 60 members from both print and electronic media. On this occasion, let us remember our pioneers and our former leaders of the club with gratitude and respect for their efforts in building the press fraternity in Kohima to where we stand today. It has been said over the years again and again, and I think it still is relevant today to remind ourselves that we, the Kohima Press Club, by being based in the state capital, we are laden with we are given the privilege and the opportunity to interact with those in the higher stratums of power, more than our fellow colleagues in other districts. Our club has in the past raised issues in the interest of journalists in the state, which resulted in the government framing and improving policies for journalists. But a lot more remains to be done, and we must continue to raise our voices for the welfare of our ever-growing fraternity. As media professionals, we will continue to face various issues, particularly from those who are intolerant to expression of views that are different from their own. How we measure up to such challenges largely depend on how we, as responsible journalists, uphold truth and justice without bias. Friends, we all are aware that the state elections are approaching, and they say that elections are one of the times when the integrity of journalists are put to test. In this backdrop, as we observe our Foundation Day today, let us all reflect upon our Press Club motto, to serve. Let us recommit ourselves to uphold journalistic ethics and continue to remain steadfast in the dignified objectives of truth and information, a responsibility and our primary service to our people and our society.
How we started the Press Club in our naughty way, rather. Those were the times when we were more or less like an orphan, way back in 1985. I know none of you will remember, most of you, because way back in 1985, I started penning. That was when I was doing my pre-university first year. And those were the days when it was only weeklies and bi-monthly. So I mean, as and when you get in touch for some news, you get bundles, because you're not getting what we call in pieces. For an issue, you will get bundles, and what you do is, you will go to your typewriter, you will keep on banging your keyboard. Unlike these days, because those were the time when sometimes you have to carry your own typewriter also. And the other thing is, we don't have the luxury of conveyance. You have to walk most of the time. Sometimes, if you're lucky, that was towards what you call the later part of 80s, you get minibus and taxis, more or less, the only arrangement. And for communication, you have only landline, no PCO those days. Kohima Press Club as such was not seen as a necessity, in fact, because then we had Nagaland Journalists Association, which is managed by the editors, the proprietors, the publishers. And we as what we call reporters are also part and parcel of the NJ, Nagaland Journalists Association. But somehow there was some vacuum. Not that we're against them, but the need for the reporters who were just handful, fingertips. We meet, then again we have to what we call sort out our programs in a way, and there was so much of what we call camaraderie. You help me, I help you. There was no rivalry, in fact. Rivalry was in such a way that it was so, what we call, benefiting to each other. Eventually, our activities got the attention of others also. So like there were some who wanted to know more about the press functioning. So that way, curiosity made them to even join us also. Around 20 of us officially met at Hotel Kocheje near the local ground. Earlier, before Kocheje, it was renamed, it was Hotel Naga Japanese Hotel. And like I said, we've been from the weeklies and bi-weekly, bi-monthly, whatever. We were just few in numbers. But by then, sometimes we get threats from sources, not necessarily what you call our nationalists and all those, but still then sometimes we get angry calls and we don't know. There is no way that we can identify the caller. Sometimes they just say, you be careful, you take care. Sometimes like that, only very blunt. Other times they will try to dictate you in such a way that you are left with no option but to seek help. That means you have to seek the help of your editor. And sometimes things are so helpless that we thought we need to come together as a club, because we already have an NGA. So like we thought we'd just have a fun time group together in the evenings. We thought we need to have a club because we cannot form a club in such a way that it is what we call compared to Delhi Press Club, Mumbai Press Club and all those Guwahati Press Club. No, we cannot do that. Even now, so we are not able to do till date, 22 years later also. But still then, we thought we will have a club where different reporters or even editors, publishers can come together under Kohima Press Club and somehow show that even if we are small in numbers, we have a small group of intellectuals who are concerned about the welfare for the society at large. So without any egoistic feelings, we thought like we should go ahead. That way, we set up what we call a committee to draft a constitution and the constitution committee, we had Gideon L. Sumi as the chairman, myself as the secretary, Malal Zole, Kire, Atol Sharma, Kire Malal Zole, leader of Chapi, you all know, and then Atol Sharma from UNI, and our late friend Xavier Ritza. They were the members. So when we were given the task to do the drafting of the Constitution, we met at a small rented place in the UNI, Atul Sharma's place, UNI, just here. We sat for a couple of times. From there, we came up with our draft. And officially, that way it took off. Officially, it took off means on the 20th, after we met around, there was around 20 members then. That was a good number. 20 way back in 2001. At Hotel Khosije, we met. From there, officially, Kohima Press Club was born in a way. And thus far, with the limitations that we had then, we had a good times together. Like we were not so much of official programs. But why club? Because we thought we'll sit together, get together, and get to know each other, instead of just having an organization, never meeting each other, and never getting to know the benefits of the other person, the other paper, and all that. So we thought we will be forming a group, like a give and take. That way only we started. And since we were not very ambitious in our programs, in our aims, we are still like this. But still then, I should say, it's so, fortunate that somehow a few of us started, and today we have really grown to more than 60 members plus. It's a blessing to, not only to all of us, individual concerned, but even a blessing to the society, to our society, because we are feeding them. We are their ears, their nose, their mouth. So that way, we are an extension of their whatsoever needs, communication-wise. Our press club started off very modestly, in a very humble way, never expecting much, but the society expects much from us. So we are a burdened group of people. I will say intellectuals because everyone is an intellectual in one's own capacity, in one's own way. But we have so much for in our hands to give to the society. So that way, let us be serious with what we are. Let's not take things too easy, but we should not take our way of working too serious also. But still then, let us know that there are certain limits, but still then, let us, in our own ways, give our best to the society.
Let us rededicate ourselves and follow the ethics of journalism and be a true mediator of our people and government. Let us stand intact with that and not just waver around. We know many platforms, media, like digital medias are also coming up now. So of course there will be a competition when it comes to any kind of organization coming up. So even in our field also it's like a competition, but that doesn't mean that we'll create enmity among ourselves, but let us work in coordination and remind each other, one another, teach one another, and look up to our founding members also, our senior members. If anything, we can always look up to them, we can always approach them and strengthen our professionalism and know how we have to go about, and not just the reporting, but the difference that we make in our society.